Hi, this is Lee, and before I get into the topic, I just want to talk a little bit about this Batmobile scaled model. Right, so there is Batmobile in the board game. Unfortunately, IDW Games didn't make it into actual miniature, but just a flat plain token, cardboard token. So I bought this online. Hopefully, it'll replace the cardboard in the game. This is metal casted. It's metal and it's pretty heavy. Feels pretty good all to the details, and it's 1/32 scale from Jada Toys, and I don't know if that pronounced that company right, but they did a line of DC toys, and I think also other toys maybe. But anyway, they did a lot of Batmobiles, and this was the Batman animated series 1/32 scale. So I bought this, and then I realized it's a little bit small. So if I put it alongside with a miniature, it's just small, and not too much, but just a little bit small. If this Batmobile is like a one-person car, it may be fine, but unfortunately, it's two seats and it's just small. So I'm gonna show you this. This is the car miniature from Zombicide second edition. So this is a Simon Games made the car token into actual miniature, and they made 4 slots on this car, so you can actually place the miniature onto the slots to suggest the character is in the car and driving the car. So you can see if I put them together, the sides are all right, but you're just gonna find the Batmobile is just, I don't know, a bit weak, I'd say. So I found the Jada Toys. They did another Batmobile, still animated series, and this is 1/24 scale. Now I bought this again, and then I have it, and then I did a comparison, and it's a little bit too big. Not too big, but it is just bigger than the actual scale. So this is a full comparison of 1/24 scale and Zombicide second edition card token and 1/32 scale. Right, there is another Batmobile in this image. That's from Batman Gotham City Chronicles board game from Monolith Games. Now this was a appropriate scale to 32 or 35 millimeter scale miniatures. Unfortunately, this is more to a modern realistic settings, and there's just too much details compared to the animated series. But this is the perfect scale to the those kind of miniatures, 32, 35 millimeter scale miniatures, or I don't know, even 28. 1/24. I don't know what other 1/24 or 1/32 car scaled models are like, but just the Batmobile 1/32 is a little bit too small, and 1/24 is a little bit too big. So, well, guys, I have to deal with it. Right. Okay. To the actual topic, it is a showcase of painting the miniature of Batman animated series Shadow of the Bat board game from IDW Games. I start from Batman. So I believe IDW Games did a great job on capturing all the animated series style and bring them onto all those miniatures. Miniatures, they're all great. Most of them are posed like perfectly. There are few that I did not like, but I start from the Batman. This one I like it a lot. The original render didn't really, catch my eye because I saw it was a weird pose, as it's a battle standby pose. I was expecting more like a attacking or just standard standing pose, to be honest. But this actually turns out all right. It's a little bit dynamic, but not that much, and the flow of the cape works well with the pose. But because of it's based on animated series, there are not much very detailed area, as in texture of the clothes or all those small details. They're more like a big chunk of shapes, but the miniature quality is pretty good. It's pretty good. Right. For this one, I actually spent quite a lot of time on the face, although there is no like eyeballs to be painted. But in order to get the eyes right, I did spend like a lot of time. You can tell I outlined the frame of this eye area, and then I highlighted each on the mask. And that, I believe, is quite detailed work, at least for me. Because it is a mask on the face. It's an extra layer on the face. You can't just drop a white paint there. It'll make it look blurry and it'll look like a thick coat. So you kind of have to outline the frame here and then highlight the edge to suggest this is a face mask on the face, that an extra layer on the face. And then you have to like outline this area as well, to showing there is a thickness of the face mask here. Other than that, those are, I believe this is actually on the miniature. I'm not entirely sure at the moment, but this and this does make the face look like aged enough to be a experienced Batman, just like in the animated series. Other than the face, there's nothing much to tell. Oh, right. So basically for Batman, there were like two different versions in the animated series. One is the original animated series, then there is the New Adventure. So in New Adventure, I believe the entire style shifted a little bit. It's more blocky. I'm not entirely sure how to describe that. But in the original animated series, Batman has the cape, the inside of the cape, blue. I'm not sure if that's just the color of the cape, or it was a suggestion of the reflection on the cape because of its material. But I didn't go for that anyway. I didn't paint the entire inside the cape blue. Instead, I used dry brush, highlighted some blue on the edge and on some highlighted area. It works well, I'd say. You can tell it's a black cape, yet a little bit blue within. But I spent most of the time on the face, and then the logo right here. I was trying to do some metal highlights on the belt, but then kind of just gave it up because I think it doesn't fit the entire style. So I was like rendering this metal like halfway and then just stop there. But I think this actually looks okay to fit the entire style. Anyway, this is the Batman. The base. I did this for every single miniature painted for this game. So basically, it was using a wasted brush, as in a brush like this. It's not a dry brush, and it's not really a usable fine brush either. It's a wasted brush. You can use a fine dry brush to do this, but you don't need to, as a wasted brush will do just fine. Basically, white and stapling in the middle, and then adding a little bit black, so gray color, stapling a little bit, rendering to blend the colors together, and then black stapling around. After this, highlight the edge. It's more like a personal preference. I don't want to leave like entire base black for this board game. I want them to be unified. So I did this as a texture on the base, as in it can be look like it's standing on some textured road or anything, a little bit texture, a little bit interesting spot on the base. And I think it works fine. It's not like detailed texture or anything, just some simple dry brush work. This kind of like framed the entire miniature, so I think it works well. Right, that's Batman. And that's Robin, and this is Dick Grayson, and this is the one I did not like. The pose looks a little bit weird. I'd rather him stand up and then doing some, battle standby pose or attacking pose rather than, well, I guess you can also call this attacking pose or battle standby, but it just looks a little bit weird. I'd rather him just stand up, to be honest. And because of the pose or other stuff, IDW Games didn't bother to sculpt the little R logo on the chest. Well, I mean, you can't really see it. Not in like most of the time looking at this miniature, you can't really see if there is a logo there. But if you look from here, yeah, it's not sculpted there. So a little bit of shame here. And I also believe the hair is kind of off compared to what's it looked like in the animation. And I couldn't be bothered to fix the mold line here. It's just a awkward position here. And I could fix this, but I couldn't be bothered. Anyway, this is Robin, and same process on the base. And then there comes Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. This one has eyes, like literally, and I spent quite a lot of time on this, and I believe it works well. It looks fine to me. And I spent time on the lips as well, highlight the lips, because it's a female character. You kind of do need to, do some fine makeup for her. And other than that, nothing really like, worth mentioning other than the logo here. You kind of need to outline the logo to make it look like visible, and also the belt. I did outline the structure. I mean, structure is mainly just 3 big rectangle blocks there. So for Batgirl, it's also different in the original animated series and also New Adventures. I believe the color scheme is different in the New Adventure. She has different color of capes, gloves, and boots. Even logos, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not looking at any reference now, so I can't remember exactly what the color will be. But I think this is based on the original animated series. So that's Batgirl, and same process on the base. And Jim Gordon. Right, so for this one, I'm not sure if I remember this correctly, but I do think sometimes using dots as eyes, and sometimes it was painted fully in the animation. I'm not sure if that's the original animated series and New Adventure difference, but I choose to just, paint a dot there as eyes. Because I can't paint the full eyes inside this glasses frame here. I did use heavy stroke to outline the mustache, and then a little bit of shadow under the lips, and then hair, those stuff. Yes, I was trying to, just like Batman on the belt, also trying to use some metal reflection, some NMM stuff on the belt buckle here. But again, halfway there, feel like a little bit too much for this stylized model. So again, rendered like halfway there. Dry brush of some light gray color on the pistol. Same process of the base. And then Detective Bullock. Right, for this one, I believe the sculpture is a little bit off because, as I can remember, he is quite a big fella. I think the shoulder looks the entire length of the shoulder make him look like smaller than what I would do it. But I spent quite some time on the ice, as you can probably tell. I think it worked out well. Pretty cool. And other than the face, nothing really worth mentioning here. Pistols, same process, some simple dry brush work. Base, same process. The coat and the trousers here are just different gray colors, and nothing much worth mentioning other than the face, to be honest. I am very satisfied with what I have here, the face. I think I did the eyes well. Right, and this is Sheriff. I can't actually remember her name, but I think she is coupled with Batwoman. Not the first Batwoman, the second Batwoman. I can't remember exactly, but here we have this female police officer. I spent quite some time on the eyes as well. I think I also used some green stuff to fix here. Yeah, I didn't fix like entirely. I think I need more green stuff to connect this bit, the cheekbones, to the ears. I left this because I was going to add more green stuff, because I think this was like shrinked during the process of casting miniature. So I received this miniature like with this bit off. So I added a little bit green stuff to fix the cheekbones, but I didn't really fix it fully. I think I'll keep working on that because the ear is not painted anyway. But other than that, everything else is painted, sort of. This is like less finished. This is at a less finished level, but the face is alright. Right, onto the villains. Harley Quinn. So this was the second miniature I painted for this game. First one was in the expansion. I'll show her later. This was the second one I painted, and she actually has eyeballs in the animation, but because the face is kind of exaggerated expression, so I wasn't sure if I paint the eyeballs will look good. So I choose to just leave this white, and it looks well, I'd say. And then the teeth, the mouth looks pretty cool. So I didn't spend more time on the eyes. I did freehand paint all those patterns on her suit, and then where was it? This area. I think in the animation, those two patterns are actually supposed to be inside of the arm, but because if I painted inside, it would be from here, and it's such an awkward position, and you can't really see it. So I choose to paint it on the outside of the arm. I guess that wouldn't, affect much, and you can actually see those ones. So I guess it looks fine. And same process on the base, same process on the pistol. And I spent quite some time on rendering those red areas because, this area here compared to this, like it's just definitely lighter, like brighter, and same on here, and more obviously you can see the up area of it's just bright red and then dark red. Spent quite some time on those red areas. That's Harley Quinn, and then that's our Joker. To be honest, I'm not really satisfied with the eyes. I think it's a little bit off. The focus is a little bit off, but I am satisfied with, everything else. I think I did the teeth pretty cool, and I did freehand the band flag here. Other than that, those strong stroke highlights on the suit, a little bit grain highlights on the hair, just like the way in the animation. Same process on the base. Right, then Catwoman. I also spent quite some time on her because it's a beautiful female character, yet I did not really like the pose. It's a little bit too dynamic to me. I was expecting more like a standard standing pose rather than this, attacking pose. But, well, it is what it is. Let's zoom in. Right, it's not perfect. The focus of the eyes is still a little bit off, and then the highlight is a little bit off as well. I was having trouble, getting her eye correct, and then sort of, give up a little bit. But I think the result here is okay, and then I did also spend quite some time on the lips. It's, pretty nice at the moment. So for this miniature, not the pose, but the miniature itself, in the animation, Catwoman is wearing a pair of, high gloves, yet it is not showing on this miniature, so that there is no detail or any, actual layer on the miniature. It's just plain arm, and I had to, outline it by myself. So if you're looking at this front view, you can tell she is wearing a leather, not necessarily leather. I didn't really show the texture, but you can tell her gloves. And other than that, there's not much detail rather than just blending the gray color. And I didn't spend time on the whips. I think I dry brushed a little bit down here, but that's it. Same process on the base. So if you look at all those miniatures, they all share this similar base, and I think they look pretty cool. And like I said before, this each highlighting kind of framely miniature. That's Catwoman's cat. So for this one, black primer, yellow eyes, black eyeballs. That's it. And then dry brush the base, each highlighting. That's a pretty easy job. I didn't even fully prime this because I was having trouble to prime underneath the miniature because of the base. If you use like a can, you'd understand the pain there. Right, next to Two-Face then. That's Two-Face. The coin is not as detailed as I was expecting. It's too rounded. But it is what it is. I highlighted it, and then I was trying to outline the entire area, but not that outline. I believe the mold line also goes through the coin, and I didn't really clean it perfectly. Anyway, I still primed this black. So all the black area on this miniature is just prime. I didn't paint any black color on it or highlight any black area. All those black are just prime color. The white area though are fully painted. And I used a lot blue for the shadow area of the white part. So like you can tell that this area and this area are just two different colors. This is more bluish red, bluish white, sorry. And then same works on the back side as well. And then for the face, again, I spent quite some time on the eyes, on the lips, and on the teeth here. And I think I get the focus. The evil side of this character is kind of, just centered eyeballs, like always. It doesn't really, move around, or does it? I can't remember, but it's like a off-focus eyeballs anyway. This one looks pretty sharp, I'd say. And then the lips here, I think I did a pretty cool job on this as well. Pistol, just light gray dry brush, nothing special. And then same process on the base. Penguin. I painted the penguin from the Gotham City Chronicles as well, and then used the similar idea for the head. So highlight part of it and then just slowly blend it in, and then highlight it again to, suggest the head's highlighting. Eyes, I have the eyes out as well. So on both the glasses and also the regular one. It was quite a pain in the ass to paint this one because of both the head and also the cigarette here. It's blocking the brush and heavily. Luckily I have that, sorted. Again, it's this one is wearing, black hat, black coat, black hairs, all black on this character are just prime color. I didn't paint any black on top of it. The only areas I painted are, highlighted the head, the face, the glasses, the cigarette, the this gray area, and then the shirt, and then this the skin color, the handle of the umbrella, and then the trousers. That's it. Same process on the base as well. It's penguin. Scarecrow. So I used brown color a lot as in I use brown for the head, use the brown for the face, for the hair, for this part of the face, for the clothes, for the trousers, for the shoes. They're all brown, except the head was more like a brown, and then the face are more like light yellow brown. So I use brown plus a lot of white to simulate the skin color, then add in a little bit yellow. I could just use some dust color. I could, but anyway, that was also brown. Add a little bit of red to suggest some shadows. For the clothes, it's a lot of red plus brown. For the trousers, that's a lot of black plus brown. Same color on the shoes and the face mask, or the entire mask. But they're all brown. And then for the highlight on the clothes, that's a little bit yellow editing, if you can tell. The bomb, it's green plus a lot of yellow. That's really bright green. For the smoke, black plus green, so to make it really, dark, and then white plus green, just stapling on those bumps. I was going to paint the eyeballs, but the eyes are a little bit off, and I couldn't really get a proper focus. So just like Harley Quinn, I give it up, leave it as white, and it looks pretty cool. Scarecrow, and that's Riddler, Ottawa Enigma. I spent a lot of time on the face as well, but not on the eyes, but the teeth right here in between. I wasn't going to paint the teeth because I thought it wasn't really showing his teeth, but it looks a little bit too weird if I don't paint the teeth, but just lips. So I paint the entire area, the gap between upper lip and lower lip black, and then used a fine brush just draw a slightly white line in between, and it works well. I'd say it works well. What's this? Right. Again, I primed this miniature black, so all the black area here are just prime color. I did use light gray to highlight the edge of the pants and then the edge of the shirt as well. I did freehand paint the question mark right here. Other than that, just some green color. Plus, I added quite some yellow in here, as this is more like a highlighted area, and also here. So chest bit and shoulder bit were all like highlighted using a little bit yellow. You can't really tell, but if you look at here, so this area is a little bit quite obvious difference here. So this area and this area are two different green colors. So that's more yellowish green. That's more darker green. That's Ottawa Enigma. Then Mr. Freeze. Now, I was having trouble finding him a helmet. I still am. I don't really want to buy the helmet for him. I don't really want, spend £1 or £2 or even $5 with shipping to buy him the specific helmet. I know there are some like perfect scaled helmet I can use. I can buy from online, and there were people posting the link in the Kickstarter comment section, also Facebook group. I don't really want to buy him a helmet. I was trying to use a card sleeve to make a circle, like a thick card sleeve, make a circle, and then fill the top bit and then send down to a rounded circle. But I feel like quite a lot of work, so I'm still trying to figure out if I can have him, a homemade helmet, or if I can find some appropriate, substitute for him. But for now, he ain't get any helmet. Again, I primed this miniature black, so all the black area here are just black prime. I didn't paint anything. Except the googles and then the eyebrows, except those two parts, because I did paint the entire head into this light blue color, and then repaint the eyebrows and googles into black. That's the only black I actually painted. I did highlight the eyes, the glasses on the googles, the red bit, if you can actually tell. I did highlight it, so that's a little bit highlight there. Not really accurate highlighted, because I highlighted here and then there's a little bit highlight here, but it works out. It turns out fine. Now for those blue things, I used dark blue, and then I used Temper God blue, which is a layer color I often use to highlight some blue area. I'll actually show you. I have it right here. So I used this color first, so that's Markridge blue plus a little bit black maybe, and then to paint all over. And then I highlighted with the Temple God blue, which is the later color. This is a a really bright blue, close to cyan, not that cyan, but bluish cyan color that you can't really, mix other paints to get. This is a only color I don't really, to get it from mixture different paints. And it works out great on highlighting some blue stuff. So if you can, right, so that's a little bit blurred, but you can tell the highlight is coming, like really strong visual there. Guns, same process, some light gray, and then just dry brush it, draw some reflections and the edge highlighting. The thing is carrying. I did a little bit highlighting here, but couldn't be bothered. The front bed looks fine enough to me, so I just leave it, let it be there. And it's not finished because of the helmet thing, so oh well, didn't really finish this guy. Same process on base. And finally, in the core box, Manbat. Now, this is the miniature I did not actually enjoy painting because there are just too much those large flat areas that requires this stable color, which I don't really use airbrush. I have an airbrush. I don't have the pump, and I can't use airbrush. So this is just using brush painted, and it's very annoying to paint all those because you have to constantly blend colors, and it's just an annoying job, boring, tedious work. Whoops, yeah, that's just came off. God knows when, but yeah, it's just tedious job. Eyes, just pure yellow. Nothing else really. This is like a standard standing pose, and because of the wings, it occupies quite large space, and then it looks quite intimidating because of the wings, because of the scale. But other than that, the pose is a little bit dumb, to be honest. I did actually paint a little bit packs here. Right, so that's all the miniatures from the core box, and all of them are using this base painting. They all share the same similar process because they're hand painted. I can't guarantee they're exactly the same, but they are using the exact same idea, basically white sapling in the middle and then slightly blended out and then each highlighting around the base. And I have two more. That's Poison Ivy from the expansion, from the escape, from the asylum. I believe that's the expansion's name. And spent really a lot of time on the face, and turns out well, I'd say. Right, so I had this painted, and then I sent this photo to my friend. That's Chinese, but basically she said Ivy looks a little bit too justice rather than, evil. So I think the eyebrows a little bit, added a little bit smirk here. I think she looks, like more like a fine villain rather than, justice friends. So I guess that looks fine now. I like both versions, but this is more like exaggerated expression here. So yeah. Now, painting skins are different from those large flat areas. At least you are doing some highlights, shadows on the side, and then shadows from inside. But this is just flat colors. I think I used brush to paint the colors, and then I couldn't be bothered. So I started to use dry brush to paint the large areas, and it's still a little bit off, but I couldn't be bothered to fix all those. That's Poison Ivy. Right, so finally here we have Zantanna, and again, a lot of time on the face. I think I can still think this a little bit, but I couldn't be bothered. I think this is what I can achieve most on her face, and outlining all those structures, a little bit shadows here, and then for the smoke here, it was well, this is still primed in black, so all the black area are black prime unpainted, and then this was thin white paints covered first, and then those area are actually white plus brown and yellow, so more like dust color rather than just black. And then all of those are using dry brush stepping on those to give it a little bit textures, not too smooth. And I think mainly the face and the smoke. Oh, I did highlight this bit. So that's her. Right. So that's all the miniatures I painted for this board game. I still have a lot, unique characters left behind. Bruce Wayne, Alfred, Nightwing, and then the other Robin, Tim Drake. Who else? Who else in expansion? The Clock Guy, the Mad Hatter, the other villain, Killer Croc, and then Clayface. I also have Batwoman, Great Ghost, and then Supergirl. I also have all those characters left in the expansion box. I may or may not paint in a while. Right, so that's all the characters I've painted so far for this board game. I also have Nightwing, Tim Drake, Rachel Gould, Talia Ghul, the Clock King, who else? Mad Hatter, Batwoman, the actual Bruce Wayne, Alfred. A lot of characters left in expansion boxes, and may or may not paint them, at least not in a short time. But I will paint all of those eventually. Anyway, that's my showcase. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.